Okay, a quick question before I begin. You do know that I like Casio, right? I talked about them all the time, especially G-Shock watch. They released this GZI camera, not even a clock, not even a watch. I talked about it. They released a book. I talked about those. They released figurines. I talked about it as well. And obviously, G-Shock, talk about them all the time. But one thing that I haven't talked about, amongst other things, is the wall clock. So, what is this all about? What's so special about this wall clock? Nothing really, but it is a bit special in comparison to most wall clock on the market. Considering the price is only 35-40 bucks only, you will be getting a lot of values out of it. First and foremost, the reference number is IQ-1500J-1JF. If you want to look it up, you could already do that, read all the specs and everything, and if you're good with it, go get it. This thing only sold in Japan because of this one single function called waveceptor multiband 2. It could receive signal the 40 kHz and 60 kHz, basically those available in Japan. So this clock, okay, will set the time automatically. All you have to do is plug in a battery, hang it on the wall, just leave it there. It will synchronize the time 7 times a day, and that will give an amazingly accurate timekeeping, unlike any other wall clock on the market, and sometimes better than, you know, non-waveceptor equipped G-Shock watch if you think about it. Okay, of course you could turn it off as well, which I'll cover about that afterwards. It operates on IQ-COM02, which also have light sensor, which allow the hand to stop moving if it didn't detect enough presence of light. There you go. Very cool, right? So there's a light sensor underneath this manual book. If I were to remove this right now, it will continue to move after a few seconds to wherever it is still counting in the background. And there you go. And here is the sensor down here. There you go. Waveceptor IQ-1500J reference number. That's the sensor. Okay. Let's go to the back real quick and show you guys some operation. Okay, here is how the back looks like. This thing has a size of 33 centimeters times 5. Thickness, it is very thick, and also weighs 1.1 kilogram. This is heavy stuff, guys. So hang it properly. The material is entirely made out of plastic, but feels very high quality, very solid, so I guess it's okay for 35 bucks only, so no complaining there. And here it is. Lock this thing real quick. There we go. That's the battery. Only use AA battery, so don't have to worry about changing that. But in this for specific model, since it didn't move this second hand, the battery lasts a lot longer. I guess it could go 3-5 years even, depending on how often this thing moves. In my case, I just leave it in my bedroom, so there's dark all the time, days and nights. So this hand just practically didn't move at all until I turn on the lights. So that saved the battery even more. Anyway, here is the 3-button operation that this clock has, surprisingly. This is called the wave button. Press that, LED will glow over here. So that tells me it didn't receive any signal. If it blinks, then it will tell that the time has been synchronized and calibrated, so it is accurate. In my case, I didn't receive the signal from where I'm living, so I have to set it up manually using the set button over here. It works like the entry-level Casio or even vintage G-Shock watch, where you need to press and hold to move the minute hands only. That's all you could do. There's no, you know, knob to turn. That would be a lot easier, but in this case, Casio didn't provide that, so I have to press and hold it to move the minute hands, and just wait until the accurate time is shown, and then good to go, because the hand could only move one way, not both ways. So those are the good things about this wall clock in general. Last but not least, what makes this thing good is the color black and the glows in the dark indices or numerals around there, including the minutes and the hour hands. They are good, pretty much like our G-Shock watch. If you ever have experience using this, you could have a rough idea how they perform already. Okay, better than not having anything, but not as impressive, not as bright, not as long lasting, though I could kind of see it at nighttime once my eye got used to the darkness, but that depends on the person. And just side note, you're gonna need to stand like 2 to 3 meters apart to be able to see it. If you are at a further distance, say when you're laying on the bed and you put this clock all across the room, you might not be able to tell the time at night time unless you wake up and go even closer, which, I mean, we have our phone for that already by now, right? So not that useful at night time, but for battery saving and not making noise. Yeah, this is also important as well, since the hands stop moving when it is dark, aka when you're sleeping. When I'm sleeping, it is silent. Okay, something that is a cheap wall clock, normal cheap wall clock cannot do. Okay, so that helps me out a lot because I need my room to be silent and dark. This thing solved that problem for me. So if I were to pick up another version of Casio wall clock, I mean, perhaps with smooth sweeping hand, they do make those as well, or perhaps with different shape, profile, color functions. I'm probably gonna end up using those in my living room because I cannot stand the ticking sound of it. Though it is not as loud because the casing is thick, so the sound can't go through. But I mean, sometimes you do hear that, right? So just need to point it out. So that will be all about this Casio wall clock in general. If you want to know the details, I'll add a purchase link down in the description box. This thing only being released in Japan, so you need to buy this straight from Japan only. And of course, you're gonna need to use Buy Japan for that, which is also the sponsor for today's video. They are a proxy shopping service website based in Japan that allows you to buy this, or even this from Japan. I mean, it's all entirely up to you. If you don't like this, buy something else. You could buy Seiko wall clock, which is also very popular choice. Do that. Buy got you covered. They got everything that is originated in Japan, man. So go ahead, use the link down in the description box, and if you're new, you'll earn an extra 1,000 yen discount, basically 10 bucks off. So you could purchase one of these at a much cheaper price. But again, do consider the expensive shipping cost because this thing is heavy.